What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have a very important update that we need to get to today because the United States is headed for potentially the toughest part of 2023. Now, I received a bunch of comments, a bunch of emails from people just this weekend. I went through a lot of them, and one of the most common questions was, are we out of the woods? Is the United States now pretty much over the hump and now things are going to get better? And my answer was actually pretty simple. The answer was no. 2023 so far has been very mild, but the expectation moving forward, that is where things get very scary. So I want to address exactly what's going on, how this could potentially impact you, how you could actually be spending more money, and the good news to Social Security recipients. So if you have any questions on any of this stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But let's get right down to it. And before I get to it, all I ask is if you can spend just 2 seconds, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. So here's the first thing. One of the things that is happening right now is we are seeing utility prices go up. We're also seeing gas prices go up. These are concerning. Now, the reason why these are concerning is because utility prices, well, there's not a whole lot we can do there. And as far as gas prices, well, a lot of it depends on OPEC, depends on Russia, Saudi Arabia. And this is tough because as the United States, we have known that we have to produce oil. And if we don't, our costs are going to go up, which they have. But here's the real concern. So, according to a recent report, they are now saying that this winter is this El Nino winter, okay? We've had this multiple times over the past 10, 15 years. The last time it was actually in 2018, 2019, and it said it was a pretty weak El Nino winter. Then it was 2015 through 2016, and then the one that's exactly like what forecasters are expecting was back in 2009, 2010. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why is this guy talking to me about weather? Why would I care if it's an El Nino winter? Well, here's the reason why. The last time that it was forecasted exactly like it is today, or the upcoming winter, was 2009, 2010. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The strength of that year, okay, it came in very hard. One thing I can tell you is it was very cold across the southern and central parts of the United States. So keep that in mind. And on the East Coast, it was very wet and snowy. Okay? On the West Coast, it was more dry, warmer, right? Here's the reason why this is a big issue. And this is why the United States is headed for potentially the toughest part of 2023. What happens when it gets colder? Well, when it gets colder, you use more electricity, you use more gas to heat your homes. Okay? I want to show you a chart. Here's the chart right here. I want to show you this. Let me bring it over here so you can see it. So right here, this is energy services, electricity, and then we also have a utility pipe gas service. Well, if I slide it over, okay, slide it all the way over here, look at that. So here's what it is. This is how much it went up last month. Electricity went up by 0.2%, and utility gas services went up by 0.1%. Keep in mind, they went up during the end of summer, okay, where we weren't having extreme heat all across the United States. We weren't having extreme cold all across the United States. That's the reason why experts are now saying that this is concerning, because as prices go up, and what are a few of the things that we spend all of our money on? We spend money on shelter, we spend money on food, we spend money on utilities. Those are 3 things guaranteed we are going to spend money on every single month. Okay? So one of those things is for sure going to get more expensive, right? Utilities. Well, the second thing which is going to get more expensive, is food. And I will talk about that in just a second. But keep in mind, if you live in the southern or central part of the United States, there could be again, I don't want to tell you that, don't worry, but there's a chance that you're going to have a very cold and wet winter. Okay? So be prepared. As you have a very cold and wet winter, what's going to happen is we are also going to see prices go up for utilities and also for gas. All right? So be prepared. When it comes to gas prices, let me pull up the AAA gas price chart so you can see it really quick. But here's where it is currently, right now. Okay? Let me pull it over here so you can see it. So it's $3.84. That is as of this morning. Well, guess what? It was $3.84 yesterday. It was $3.88 a week ago. $3.82 a month ago. Now, you're probably thinking, well, it's going down. That's good news, right? Well, yes, it is good news. Here's the problem, though. The problem is that it is not up to us. It's not up to the United States to determine what gas prices are going to be. What we need to look at is we need to look at this chart right here. Okay? This chart right here, this is the crude oil. This is as of today. It's $90 a barrel. What experts are worried about is what happens when this goes to $100 a barrel. Okay? See, $92, or what was it here? $92, $93. Okay? So what happens if this goes to $100 a barrel? Well, the last time it was at $100 a barrel was back here, was on 7/10/2022. So it's been over a year since it's been $100 a barrel. But here's the big concern, is right now, this is what some are saying Russia wants. Russia wants $100 a barrel. Saudi Arabia wants $100 per barrel. Well, if they are wanting $100 per barrel, well, do they have the impact to make it happen? The answer is yes. All they have to do is cut the oil exports. Okay? All they got to do is cut output. It's already been done by 300,000 barrels of oil per day by Saudi Arabia. Okay? They extend it. And so it's going all the way through 2023, which means another, 3 months of reduced supply because Saudi Arabia wants to push prices up. Okay? Now, the one thing that's, and I want to be clear on both sides here, Saudi Arabia, Russia, they want to increase the price of oil, but what they have to do is they have to ensure that they don't increase the price so quickly and it goes up so high that we see a new inflationary pressure, a global inflation. Because if we see global inflation, what's going to happen? It's actually going to push downward pressure on growth, especially for GDP. Okay? So that is something that we just need to keep in mind. Now, how's this good news for people on Social Security? Well, as gas prices go up, as utility prices go up, guess what also is going up? CPI, the Consumer Price Index. Well, when that goes up, what is something that's coming out within this next month, or actually in about 2 to 3 weeks? Well, we're going to have the cost of living adjustment for Social Security, or people what they know it as COLA. When the cost of living adjustment comes out for 2024 for Social Security, it's going to tell us, are Social Security recipients going to get a boost of 3%, 3.2%, maybe 3.5%? The expectation is, as of right now, it will be 3.2% is what people are going to get. It could also go up to 3.3, 3.4, which would mean you're going to get a little bit more money. Okay? I think it's like $50 to $70 that people are going to get. So it's actually pretty big. If you get an extra $50 every single month, that would be huge for many people. So we'll see what happens there. Now, here's the other thing I want to be very cautious with. And this is one of the reasons why I say the U.S. is potentially headed for its toughest months of 2023 is because of what Congress is currently doing. As of right now, Congress is trying to pass the government funding bill. Well, here's the problem. they don't know how to do it. And this is the plan as of this morning. The Senate Democrats want to pretty much push Speaker Kevin McCarthy to make a deal. Well, how are they going to do that? Well, the first thing that they're going to do is the Senate and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, they plan on pushing Kevin McCarthy to put a bill on the floor of the House. Well, how do they do that? And again, they have 5 days to get it done. It has to be done by Saturday. I believe Saturday is October 30th. Yes, it is. Saturday is October 30th. So that means Sunday Saturday is September 30th, which means Sunday is October 1st, which means by Sunday morning, actually by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, a deal has to be done. The problem is they don't think it will. The biggest issue right now is that the Senate is planning to finish up their bill, send it to the floor of the House, and pressure Speaker Kevin McCarthy to have the House vote on the bill as well. The problem with it from a Republican side is if in the Senate they pass the bill, which is expected, it's a bipartisan bill, as soon as it goes over to the House, the problem that Speaker Kevin McCarthy is going to have is if he puts it on the floor, it's going to pass. And if it passes, the problem is that there's a group of Republicans that are looking to pretty much just oust Speaker Kevin McCarthy as the speaker. And that's something that they're already moving forward with. So it puts them in a very difficult situation at this time, which some experts are anticipating. We are going to see a government shutdown. And if we see a government shutdown, this means that millions of people will be furloughed, millions of federal employees will be furloughed. There will probably be hundreds of thousands of people that rely on the federal workers to pretty much stay employed. So those people could simply be laid off. They might not ever come back. So that's a problem there. But it's not the last issue. And again, this is why I caution you guys, is because a lot of people are thinking that we are pretty much out of the woods, like things are getting better, when essentially things are just now starting to heat up. And for instance, one of the things that is actually starting to heat up is student loan payments. This is happening in 6 days. On October 1st, 2023, the expectation is that student loan borrowers will start making payments to their student loan debt. However, President Biden has given borrowers a 1-year on-ramp, so they don't actually have to make a payment until October 1st, 2024. But according to a recent survey, it says that 62% of people are planning to boycott loan payments for the fall. So the plan as of right now, and again, it's not to wait all the way until October 1st, 2024, but according to multiple surveys that have been done over the past month, the majority of respondents to these surveys are saying that they are not going to make a payment for all of 2023 in hopes that the Biden administration decides, you know what, I don't think these people are going to make payments, so we probably better off just forgiving the debt. So we'll see what happens there. But what I can tell you at this time is that there's many people that are expecting the U.S. economy is going to get worse before it gets better. And if it gets worse now, the problem is it could get worse in a hurry. Because if consumers are not spending money because they don't have it, that means businesses, retailers, are going to start to lay off their employees. They're not going to hire as many new employees for the winter months, for the holiday shopping season, which is the biggest shopping season of the entire year. So we're going to see moving forward exactly what happens. One thing I can promise you is I will be here every step of the way. I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. All you got to do is 2 things. First, go ahead and hit that like button on this video. Also click that subscribe button so you never miss an update. And I'll see you guys on the next one.